Hey Flosstube, it's Katie the Stash Queen coming to you on this January 1st, 2017. Yay! Happy New Year! I hope everyone had a safe and fun New Year's Eve and are having a wonderful New Year's Day today. We went to my mom's house last night for most of the evening, hung out with my parents and my sister and her boyfriend and my aunt and uncle and cousins, and had a really nice time. I drank a little too much, but it was fun. I didn't have to drive. But we had a really good time, and we kind of stayed up way too late. Oh well, I may take a nap later. So before I go ahead and get started, I have uploaded quite a few videos in the last couple of days. The most recent video I uploaded this morning was my all of my whips video. And some of you have been able to see it and some of you haven't, which is frustrating me because I went through YouTube's music copyright policies, and all of the songs that I used said you could see everything worldwide, but apparently that's not the case. I'm not going back and fixing the video that's over an hour long to have no music. I'm sorry, I'm just not. So what I did instead is in Stitch Mania, there is an album that I created that I went through my photo app for a website that I have that I save all of my photos on, and I took a picture of all of those things so you could kind of see the final picture or the most recent picture of it and the piece name next to it. So if you aren't in Mania and you can't see my video and you want to see that, come on over and join us. Otherwise, I'm blaming YouTube and I can't do anything about it. Sorry. So we've got a lot to talk about today. End of the new year update. Since we are now in the new year, my format is going to be changing a little bit, but we'll talk about that in a little while here. As always, we'll start with the Q&A, so let's go ahead and get started. Blue Nose Baby Girl said about my whip video, thanks for putting this together. Wow, you have a lot of whips. I think I counted 358. I think it's 357, 358, right around there. I noticed that a lot of your whips include specialty threads and that you buy a new skein of thread for each project. How do you budget for this? I don't want to sound snarky in this answer, but I have said before, I do not talk about my budget. I don't think it's an appropriate conversation to be having. All I will say is that it's in my budget. My husband knows what I spend. It's fine. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to go into my budget or anything else like that. Sorry. Then she said, also, because you're doing the Year of Starts 2.0, will you be doing the same thing with your whips, alphabetically and inserting the new starts? Yes, I'm going to keep going the same way. If so, will this mean you won't be able to work on all of your whips as there will be more than 365? It's entirely possible. I won't get through all of my whips. If I don't, that's fine. I'm not worried about it. I will get to them eventually. That's just, that's something I'll look at in 2018, depending on what I decide to do for 2018. I'm nowhere close to that yet. I may address it more then. Who knows? We'll see. But we have a lot of stitch-alongs that are going to be happening this year. A lot. That I'm going to be touching a whole lot of pieces that even if I don't get to it through my alphabetical whip rotation order, I may get to it through one of the other stitch-alongs. So we'll just wait and see what happens. Jody Riley asked, where do you get all of your Mill Hill kits? I've gotten some at my LNS. I've gotten a lot from 123 Stitch. I've gotten a lot from eBay. There's a ton of them on 123 Stitch. But I tend to look on eBay first to see if I can get them at a cheaper price off of eBay than I can off of 123 Stitch. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But those are, and then my LNS carries, or did carry, quite a few of them. So that's all different places to go. Melissa Eggleston said, ooh, I love the Stitch a Day project idea. Will you do beads as well? Yes, that is the plan if they fit. There's a couple of pieces I have this year that have some weird shaped beads. I wouldn't use those. I wouldn't use treasures. But if it's like a Mill Hill or a Delica bead and I have plenty to spare, yes, I do plan on doing the beads and metallics and all of that fun sort of stuff for that project. Nina Needleworker said, I have some questions about doing patterns from magazines. Once you pick one out for a start, how do you catalog it in the Xstitch app? I put it as the name of the magazine, And then, because most of the magazine names are options under the designer, and then in the project notes section at the bottom, I'll write in whatever issue it is as I need to. Do you take the pages out of the magazine right away? If I am the only reason I pull, separate this into two answers. I never pull anything out of the Halloween issues or the ornament issues. I keep those entirely intact. The only reason I would pull out a pattern from a magazine is if I have it written down in my year of starts to start it at some point. Otherwise, they just stay in the magazines. And I flip when I'm preparing for the year of starts, or what I've done the last 2 years when I've prepared for the year of starts. Sorry, my legs are falling asleep again. I've been in here for a while preparing for this. When that happens, I flip through the magazines to see what's still in there that I haven't pulled yet that I may want to do. So, let's see. Once you're finished, do you put the page back where it belongs? No, because I mark up my patterns with pencil or anything else that I need at the time. They're usually not salvageable by the time I'm finished with them, so then they'll go in the trash, usually. Vicky J said, Katie, how do the backs of your work stay neat? They don't always. I don't worry about my backs looking good. If the front looks good and it will lay well enough, if I needed to finish it in some way where it needed to lay flat, as long as it looks like that, as long as it can handle that, that's all I care about. I don't care about neat backs. I don't feel the back should be as neat as the front. And people who do that, I'm amazed. It's not me. But even when I loop start, the back still looks messy with threads and tangled everywhere. Do you mean, I'm not sure if you mean like just the threads are going everywhere crisscross, or if your threads are actually getting tangled and you're having knots. Knots are more of a problem. I try to cut those out if they happen to come up when I'm doing stuff. Then she said, do you cross all of your stitches as you go, or do you do one way and then come back and cross? My backs are so badly tangled, especially my male heel kits. Any advice would be appreciated. If I'm not using a specialty thread, yes, I will go all the way down a row and come back with that color. If it is a specialty thread, I will do it 1x at a time. If I am working in a column for some reason, like if there's 7 stitches of the same color in a column and they're not in rows, I will go each stitch at a time, up or down the column, depending on the flow of how I'm doing it. Pam E. Can you show the back of your Christmas penguin needle minder? I have it in a brooch pin and would like to make a minder out of it, but it's hollow in the back. All right, I'm not sure. You said that you clarified it, Pam, by saying it was the penguin with the Santa hat, and I have several of those, and I'm not sure which one you're specifically referring to. I will say anytime, because I have several needle minders that have hollow backs, what I have seen the needle minder makers do is they usually, they'll sometimes use the bigger size rare earth magnets, and they sometimes put more than one magnet to like kind of go up so it'll be flat on the back. Not sure if I have one I can show you right now. If I come up across it, I can show you, but let's see, is this one? It would also mean that I need to be able to take them off the board relatively easily right now, and I can't really do that. So, but yeah, they usually stack several ones up. If you are having questions, I would recommend you talk to one of the needle minder makers out there, and I'm sure they can give you some tips. Let's see here. Alice Vanskoy said, concerning the sals, for someone who's been on here for a while, to know what sals they have, but could someone post them what ones there are in Stitch Mania for us newbies? There is a file in Stitch Mania called Stitch Mania Sals that goes through the entire end of 2017. Around June or July, Garrett and I will put our heads together and make the Sal calendar for 2018. Because we like having it done well in advance of the end of the year so that people can plan appropriately. But there's a document in the files section in the group. And if you're interested and you're not a member of Stitch Mania, I would recommend checking it out there. Let's see here. Rachel Gordon, are you doing another year of starts in 2017? What are your plans? Yes. And I did the January preview video this weekend. So check that out. Ginger Habishaw said, can you tell me once again where you found the Christmas charms that you're doing all in one piece? It starts in Cross Stitch and Needlework magazine in September 2014 issue. It is subsequently in several issues. I didn't write that down. I just pulled But the first one is September of 2014 of Cross Stitch Needlework magazine. I would also like to know where I could find the pattern for Vintage Stitches by Jeanette Douglas. I got mine at my LNS, but I would check any of the online stores. Some of them have Jeanette Douglas designs, some of them don't. But I got mine in person at my LNS, so I'm not sure where online you might be able to find it. And then I had several questions about the Doctor Who sweater that I'm not wearing today. I will have to talk to my sister-in-law. She lives in the Houston area. She got it from a store somewhere down there that my mother-in-law told it to me when she was up here for Christmas. I couldn't remember the name, and I had never heard of it because I don't think they have any of that store up here in DFW. But it is a licensed Doctor Who item. It has the whole BBC America tag and all that stuff with it. So I might just recommend, there's lots of vendors out there online that have Doctor Who stuff, so I will see if my sister-in-law can let me know, but it may be a place specific, I'm not sure, but it's an awesome sweater. All right, week in review. This is going to be familiar. It's just the same way as it has been through all of 2016, so we'll go ahead and get started. We're good. Well, I'll say this. We're only going to show the 3 sections that I actually worked on this week, which are, first off, we're going to talk about the 12 days of Stitchmas Stitch Along. That goes until January 5th, so we're still going to have a few more days of it. But I worked day 2 through 6. Yesterday was day 7. I did not get to it yesterday. I will be doubling up today. But I can show you days 2 through 6. On the 26th, day 2 was 2 turtle doves. So I worked on my Dove Santa by Mill Hill. And here is where I got to on him. I did all of the white for his hair on that day. So we're moving along. You should see the piles of projects over here. 2017 is going to be busy. Then Dove Santa goes over here. Then on the 27th, it was 3 French hens, and I worked on Pretty Little Paris by Satsuma Street. It's an electronic pattern. I'll put a link to it below. I am doing this on 32 Jobelin in Sailor's Delight from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, and here is where I got to. I finished this little motif in that color down here, and then did some more of that color, just kind of carrying that color along from around Notre Dame. And then my minder is my little French needle minder from Minding My Minders. Then on the 28th, it was 4 Calling Birds. So my piece came out of the 2006 Just Cross Stitch Ornament issue. And it was Lights of Advent, which is by Erica Michael Designs. This one right here, I chose it because it has the 4 candles. There's 4. And I am doing that one on 32 Opalugana in Winter Solstice from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And here is where I got to. I did more of those leaves down at the bottom, the little holly leaves. And my minder is this pretty cross needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. Then on the 29th, I worked on, it was 5 Golden Rings, and okay, my brain is mush today. Not hungover, but my brain is mush. 5 Golden Rings, so I decided to work on my Crown by Alessandra Adelaide, which I am doing entirely in beads. And here is where I got to. This is being done on a 32 Belfast Jewel from Under the Sea Fabrics. Here's where I got to. I worked on all of this gold that comes up here. It's a light gold. It kind of looks interesting how the light reflects on it. But they're all beads. And my minder is my little Emerald Crown Needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. They really are all the right color, but yeah. It's interesting how the light reflects. Yay! I like this piece. It's fun working on the beads. And then on the 30th, it was 6 Geese a-laying. Get on here. See the mess of beads in the bottom? That's annoying. Six Geese of Lang. I worked on an electronic pattern, The Six Wives of Henry VIII by the Primitive Hair. I will put a link to it below. I'm stitching this on 32 Joblin in Autumn from Under the Sea Fabrics, and here's where I was able to get to. Wives was already written, and I had started on the E and V. So I got V and then SI and then probably X along. I started the X. Mine is a little crown needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. So that was what I got to for the 12 days of Stitchmas. It goes through the 5th. I still have to do day 7 because too many other things to stitch up and finish up yesterday. So I'll get that today, and I'll show you guys everything in a little bit. Year of Starts. I have completed Year of Starts 1.0. Yay! It was well over 370 starts. It was a lot. So let's go ahead and show you guys what I did. The first one was Movies in My Memory by Sew to Stitch. And I am stitching this on 32 Belfast in Naiad from Under the Sea Fabrics. Here is where I got to start working on the house and background for Heidi. And my minder is the Crown Needle Minder from Nessa's Needle Minders. Then the next one that I worked on was Partridge in a Pear Tree from Cross Stitch and Needlework January 2013. And I am doing this one on 32 Lugana in Doubloon from Picture This Plus. And here is where I got to, and I apparently have ran out of a floss I need to check on. Here's where I got to when I was working on it. My minder is just a Christmas color plaid needle minder from No Name Needle Minders. Then the next one was from Just Cross Stitch 2009 ornament issue. And it is the Purple Penguin by Casey Buonagerio Designs. And I am doing this one on 32 Belfast in Silver Mist from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And I'm using my Purple Penguin needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. He's so cute. I love this. And it's really a dark purple. I thought it was black at first, but no, it's dark purple. Hence Purple Penguin. Let's see. Then the next three, technically, the last three portions of the Prairie Schooler alphabet, Y and Z, and I did do it Y and Z. Oh, it goes up there. I'm so out of it today, people. And my legs keep cramping up, which is not helping. So here we go. This whole series is being done on 32 Joblin and Toasted Almond from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So here was Y for yarn and then Z. So this is the entire piece. Can we see it? I took a picture of it. I don't know where my Wonder Woman needle minder went. It fell off at some point and I haven't found it yet. It fell off when I was down working on it. I think we have a reclining couch. I think it maybe slipped between the cushions when I was taking it off to move. And it may be stuck on one of the metallic pieces inside the chair. Then the next one was Red Velvet Cake from Glendon Place. And I am stitching this on 32 Joblin in Peppermint Sparkle from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And here, started with a little motif there in the middle, like I always do. My minder is the Red Key Needle Minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. Then the next one is an electronic pattern. It is Sleeping Beauty from Donut Stitch, and I'll put a link to it below. And I am doing this one on 32 Joblin in Red Skies at Night from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here is where I was able to get to Work on some of that outline of the castle. And my minder is a little resin needle minder from Ness's Needle Minders. Then next one, it's another electronic pattern. It was Solemnly Swear by Fiddlesticks. I'm doing the Gryffindor version, so I'll put a link to it below. And I am doing this on 32 Joblin in Mayan Apocalypse from Under the Sea Fabrics. There's where I got started. And my minder is from Nifty Needle Nannies. It's the Marauders map. I really do like the way the color looks on this. It's very Gryffindor colors. Then the next one came from the Just Cross Stitch 2014 ornament issue. And it was Star of Wonder by Julia Lucas Designs. It's this one right here. And I am stitching this on 28 Joblin in Dried Thistle from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Here's where I was able to get to. Now, you can't really see it right now, but the face and the hand, the little bit of skin there is 1/1. It blends into the fabric right now, but it will be backstitched, and then you'll be able to see it fine. And my minder is the big blingy snowflake. I think it's from Gina's Unique Boutique. Maybe from Nifty Needle Nannies. Because I thought I saw it on Nifty Needle Nannies the other day. I'm like, where did I get that from Gina? See, I don't always exactly remember everything. Then the next one was Foxwood Crossings Stitch-A-Lot. This one was fun to work on. And I am doing this on 32 Lugana in Earthen from Picture This Plus. And I got Bunch and started the A for Bunch-A-Lot is my kingdom. And then my minders are Crown Needle Minder from Brenda's Minders and More. And then my last new start and the last thing I stitched on in 2016. Or not last, this is the last thing I stitched on. I still have more to show you, but this is the last new start and the last thing I stitched on in 2016. It's electronic pattern. It's the Winter Wonderland sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I am doing this on 32 Belfast in Black and Indigo from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I'm doing, it's a DMC variegated, and I forgot to write the number down. It's written downstairs, but I forgot to write it down for this. That I'm using, I'm going to do all of the frames in that DMC variegated color. And then my Frosted Pumpkin Needle Minder. This one I have to keep out. You'll understand why in a bit. Then I did get 4 whips done this week. I did not get through my entire whip alphabet before today. So the last couple of whips will roll over. I'm not worried about it. It's fine. All right, first one that I got to was What a Wonderful World, which is from Cross Stitch Gold number 54. And I am doing this on 28 count white Lugana, excuse me. And here is where I was able to get to out of the second color. And then this minder's from No Name Needle Minders. It says, always remember you're unique just like everyone else. I got a lot of reaction in Stitch Mania. It's true. Then the next one was an electronic pattern. It was the William Shakespeare Mini Library from Clouds Factory. I'll put a link to it below. And I am doing this on 32 Joblin and Georgia Peach from Under the Sea Fabrics. Almost got Will done, but still got a little more to go. And I changed out my needle minder to a Romeo and Juliet needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then this next one's going to be hard to see. I know it. Sorry in advance, because it's white on white. But it is the Winter Cottage, which is from World of Cross Stitching issue number 196. And I am doing this on a 28 count white even weave. And like I said, it's white on white for now, which makes it hard to see, but it's there. Do you see it? There's stitching. I promise. And then my little penguin needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. It's a technically full coverage piece. Just a tiny full coverage piece. So I'm trying to get the white done first, and then I can fill everything else in. And then the last whip that I worked on this past week was from the 5 Seasons of Quilts, and it's the winter quilt, which is this one right here. And I am doing that one on 32 Lugana in Conifer from Picture This Plus. I worked more on the green around the diamond. And another little penguin needle minder from Nifty Needle Manies. So that was what I worked on since last update. I was going to say since I saw you last, but I've seen you a lot in the last few days. Okay, we are in 2017. The reason I wanted to do this video today instead of on Monday, is because we have a whole lot of new stuff going on in Stitch Mania in 2017. First thing I'm going to talk about is the 12 Days of Stitchmas for the rest of this up until the 5th, just because that is a holdover, and then I will go through everything else that we're talking about here. So for the 12 Days of Stitchmas, the one I didn't get to yesterday was the Disney Villains by Pixel Power for 7 Swans of Swimming, because there's 7 villains in the piece. It is an electronic pattern. I'll put a link to it below just to remind you where it is. We've got Maleficent started there in the middle, and my bad guy needle minder from Nessa's Needle Minders. This video, I'm going to show anything that is a holdover, and then starting next update video, I'll just go back to, if I didn't work on it, you're not going to see it. But because of things going on for this video, it's just easier. Then today's is 8 Maids of Milking. So I'm going to work on my Dreaming of Tuscany by Dimensions, because the cheese right there is made out of milk. And here is where we are at this point. See, there's cheese. Who's knocking? Hello? Thought someone knocking at my door. And then I have, who is it? David, is that you? Ghost. Or he's knocking at his sister's door. And I have a little Florence needle minder from No Name Needle Minders, because Florence is my favorite place in Tuscany. What? Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Where was I? I was on the 9 Ladies Dancing. Okay. So the second is 9 Ladies Dancing, and sorry, I'm out of breath. Had to carry him down the stairs. And he's like 60 pounds and was wriggling. That's a lot. Okay, from the Just Cross Stitch 2012 ornament issue, it is Christmas with Jane Austen by the Sampler Girl. It says, to be fond of dancing was a certain step towards falling in love. So a lady dancing. And I am doing this one on 32 Belfast and Irene from Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm going to have to rush through this. Here we go. My little Jane Austen needle minder from Kate, the Queen of Starts. Then, for 10 Lords of Leaping on the 3rd, I will be working on, I had to do a stretch for this one. It is the Sunday Morning Sunrise from Cross Stitch Needleworks May 2014 issue, because you worship the Lord in church. Get it? Lord. And I am doing this one on 32 Joblin in Tulips Sunrise from Under the Sea Fabrics. And there's we're starting on. And my Celtic Cross needle minder from Nifty Needle Manies. Then for 11 Pipers Piping, I am working on my Santa by Jim Shore from Mill Hill, because he's smoking on a pipe. And it's a kit, so. Here's where I last left him. I Bring You Christmas Tree Needle Minder from Needle Manies. And then the final one for the 12 Days of Stitchmas Stitch Along. is 12 drummers drumming. So I will be working on my drum from Mill Hill. And here's where we are. Just a little bit of the top. Okay, so because of a screaming, melting down 6-year-old, I had to stop for a couple of hours. I'm back now with my hair down, my pajama pants on. I am going to cut and paste this, or like combine them, after the 12 Days of Stitchmas. I don't remember if they were screaming in that. There might have been. So I apologize for the abrupt cut and coming back here. But 12 Days of Stitchmas was the holdover stitch along that started in 2016 and continues through the 5th. So from here on out is going to be the new type of format of what I'm going to be talking to you about in 2017, with some additions that'll happen in other points of the year, depending on other stitch alongs and all that sort of thing. So first category is my monthly mystery sals. These are the annual stitch alongs that have a new piece come out this month. I am going to go ahead and show you guys everything that I haven't worked on just for today. And then when I come and do my normal updates, I won't show you if I haven't worked on something. So the first monthly mystery sal that I have for this year is the Lakeside Needlecraft Fantasy Sal from Doreen Jones. And it is on 28 Jobelin in Nimue from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie, and I'm using flosses from Jottery Designs. I never got back to December's fairy, so I need to finish December, and then January will be a unicorn that was released last night. So I'm going to try to get some work on this so I can get caught up. I have 2 more monthly stitch alongs I will be working on this week, but they're new starts. So I'm going to wait and talk about them when we get to the new starts. The next category is the monthly Mania Sals. This month, the Mania Stitch Along is New Year, New Start, with the idea of either making a new start or lots of new starts, or doing something that's new for you, anything along those lines. Because I'm doing Year Starts 2.0, all of the new starts I'm doing this month, I am counting for that stitch along. So there will be no real major talk about that stitch along this month. The next one is a new annual stitch along that starts today. It's the Christmas All Year Round stitch along. Just like it sounds, you stitch Christmas all year round. What I have decided to do for this is for each month, I will pick one larger pattern and one ornament from my stash, or from my whips, to work on. I will work on them for the entire month. That does not mean I will work on them every day in the entire month, but these are my 2 pieces to focus on for the month of January. I will show them as I come back each week for you guys to see what progress I may have made in each week, but I won't, even if I finish a piece, I most likely won't be adding anything else new. Ornaments are more likely to be finished than the big pieces are. But, you know, it's a good way to keep that spirit up and get some of these pieces done. And we know I have a lot of Christmas. So my big piece for January is my Christmas Countdown by Dimensions with the border from God knows where. Now, I have completed the ornaments, which I haven't shown you guys in a while. So here are the ornaments again. Haven't cut them out, won't cut them out until everything else is done, because I will lose these. And then here is where I am on the rest of it, with that red border that never ends. If I can at least finish that border this month, I would be over the moon thrilled. And then my minder is my needle minder of the month for December from Down Sunshine Lane. So I will work on this throughout January and show you guys each week what the progress is. Then my ornament that I am going to work on for this month is the 1862 Snowflake, and that comes out of the Just Cross Stitch 2010 ornament issue. It's this one right here. It's done entirely in beads, and I am stitching it on a 32 Opal Lugana jewel from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here's where I was last time I worked on it. So lots and lots of beads. And then my little penguin button needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies.
Is anyone in it?
What, honey?
Is anyone in there?
Is anyone in where?
In the...
No, they're I'm doing my video, but
If they're singing.
what?
If they're singing right now.
No, it's not live. You want to sit with me?
I'm going to hug you.
You're gonna hug me?
Because Dad.
Cause Dad, why?
No, because I need to go to...
Go see Dad.
It's
Okay.
just trying
Can you say hi to your fans?
Hi.
Can you say Happy New Year?
Happy New Year.
All right, go.
Do that for Tracy.
Okay. For Tracy.
3 PRs.
Okay.
And those are the ones I didn't do.
Okay. Close the door. David, close the door.
Okay, I forgot. And I did it.
It's much better than the way he was earlier, except now he made my glasses all fingerprinty. Let me clean those off real quick. Okay, so the other annual stitch along that starts today is the year-long trick-or-treating stitch along. So we have Halloween all year long too. I am decided that I will just pick one pattern each month to work on. I don't have as many Halloween pieces, so one a month will be good for me. And then I will work on this piece throughout the month of January, not necessarily again every day, but throughout the month of January. And mine for this month comes from the Just Cross Stitch 2015 Halloween issue. And it is Enchanted Pumpkin, which is this one right there. And I am doing that one on 32 Belfast in Knix from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here is where I was last time I worked on it. And my little needle, mine is from Nifty Needle Nanny. So. Then the next stitch along that we have starting today is the first of our seasonal stitch alongs. We are doing a stitch along each season, so according to Northern Hemisphere. Sorry guys, in Australia, New Zealand, anyone south of the equator, because Garrett and I are in the north, we're doing it based on our seasons. So today through March 19th is the Winter Wonderland Stitch Along Part 1. So for the rest of winter, we have a Winter Wonderland Stitch Along, so you work on a winter-themed piece. They don't have one for spring, one for summer, one for fall, and then the last couple of weeks of December of this year is Winter Wonderland 2, Part 2, because it'll be a couple weeks of winter. So for the Winter Wonderland Stitch Along, between now and March 19th, I am going to be working on the Winter Wonderland sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery that I just showed you guys in my new starts that I finished this past week, or that I got started on. So you're going to be seeing that piece a lot. I'm going to work on it off and on between now and March 19th, and we'll see how far we get. We also have a new type of style this year called the Tour Day Designers, and we have picked 12 designers this year. There are so many out there. We'll probably do this again next year with a different 12 designers. And the idea is to pick one piece from that designer, either a whip or a new start, and work on that piece or multiple pieces for that month. But it's all for that designer. It's one of the few times we're actually doing a designer-specific stitch-along. But because we have all these other stitch-alongs we don't want to do, you don't have to. For January, our Tour Day designer that we're going to be exploring this month is Joan Elliott. And so I have decided that I'm only going to take one piece a month for each month for the designer of the month and work on that piece. And if I don't happen to have a piece for that designer, it'll be my first new start for that month, because I think there's 1 or 2 months where that'll be my new start for that month. So for Joan Elliott, I decided that I'm going to be working on my Rapunzel, because she is the one I am furthest along on. So, again, this will be off and on throughout January. I am stitching her on 28 Jobelan in Isolde from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And here is where we are at this point on her. Let's see, go a little closer. I'm working on that arch most recently. Her skin is 1/1. So, and then my minder is my little Rapunzel Hufflepuff combo needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So we'll see how far I get on her this month, which is good because I really like this piece. Then we also have a new style that's once a month. It's 1 day a month. It is the stitch along we are calling Full Coverage on the 5th. So on the 5th of each month, the idea is to take one of your full coverage pieces. It could be any design that is a full coverage piece. It could be Heaven and Earth, Tilton Crafts, Charting Creations. It can be a Dimensions kit. It can be, you know, one of the Disney Dreams collection kits. It can be a teeny tiny piece, but it's still full coverage. The idea is to work on a full coverage piece just for that day. It's a one-day stitch along. So, because the 5th will be during this next week, my first one that I'm going to work on for this stitch along is going to be the Angel of Compassion from Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the one with all the Krennic. And it's on 18 count off-white Aida. Here is where I am the last time I worked on this. See, sparkly Krennic, lots of sparkly Krennic. So I'll work on this that day, and then we'll have it on the 5th of each month for the rest of the year. That you pick the same full coverage if you want to. You can pick different ones, however you want to do it. My minder's a little Weeping Angel needle minder from Minding My Minders. Then we have a couple of other stitch alongs that aren't coming up yet this week, so we'll talk about those when they do come up. I am getting back to my focus for a finish now that we are in 2017. And my first focus for the finished piece that I am going to work on is my Wedding Sampler by Carolyn Manning. This June will be 15 years for me and my husband. Sorry, someone went to the bathroom next door. Long toilet. This video does not want to be cooperative today. So, I want to get this done before my 15th wedding anniversary. So that's why I'm going to have this be my focus piece and hopefully get it done well before June. And then I can hopefully maybe get it framed or something for my husband. So this is being done on 14 count Aida in Crystal Fresco from Picture This Plus. And here is where we are on it at this point. So I have a lot more, or some back stitching left to do on this side of the border. And then I have the other side of the border and the text to do. So it's not necessarily super close to being done, but I want to get it done. And maybe I can give it to my husband for a 15th anniversary gift. I got 6 months. I should be able to get that done in 6 months. So that was my first focus piece for the year. Then we are back to the year of starts. If you have watched my January preview video, you know that I have 3 starts planned for today. And then because I'm doing this on Sunday, and I don't plan on being back to see you guys until a week from tomorrow, I have a few more pieces. I have more pieces than I normally would for a week. I have, let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 pieces that I plan on working on between today and the next time I see you a week from tomorrow. So my first piece this month, or for the year of stars, first piece for the year, I don't have a good picture for it. It's the Wherefore Art Thou by Nora Corbett. It is the mystery stitch along that she did in 3 parts. It's a Juliet on the balcony. And they never gave one good piece or one good completed image of it. So don't have that to show you guys. You can look it up. It's all over the place. But I am doing this on 32 Joblin in Vampiric from Under the Sea Fabrics. I think she's going to look really cool, dramatic on that background. And my minder is a Romeo and Juliet needle minder that I got from Brenda's Minders and More. Because, hello. Then the second piece that I am starting today, and it's late in the day, so I need to get started, is going to be the Birthstone Dragon Stitch Along by Ingleside Imaginarium, and it's an electronic pattern. I'll put a link to it below. The border came out last month, but I didn't get started on it because I was trying to finish everything up for 2016, so I'm probably just going to do the border as I do the dragons. But January's Garnet Dragon has come out, so I am going to start working on that, and then it'll move up to my mystery stitch along. So I may work on this more than just one day this week. But I am going to be doing this, and I didn't even write down what it is. Oh, it is 32 Joblin in Vineyard from Under the Sea Fabrics, because I think it's a really cool background. And I am going to do the border in metallic. Just haven't picked which one yet. My minder my cool dragon needle minder that was given to me as a rack. So I'll get started on that today. Like I said, then it becomes part of the monthly mystery stitch-alongs, and we'll see how much extra time I get on it today. Then this week, I mean. Hello?
Can I have the gingerbread house to eat?
It's probably not good, but you can.
But I can have cookie people.
You can try them if they're not good.
They are good.
You already ate them,
I ate one.
and now you're asking.
And it's good.
Okay, close the door, please, and please don't interrupt anymore.
Okay.
Can I have something I already ate? Really? Anyway, then the third piece that I'm going to start today is what I talked about kind of in length in my January video, so I'm not going to necessarily go in length of it here, but it's the 1 stitch a day challenge that is through the Brown Paper Bag blog. There's a Facebook group. I will put a link to it below. And this is the one where I'm going to be putting an X in every color that I work on in a day, in every piece that I work on in a day. And I have a journal over there that I'm going to keep track of it all. I'm just starting this on some 32 count white Jobelin. We're going to see where it goes. I will work on this every day that I stitch. So you will see this every week, where I start and where I go. So then tomorrow starts the Under the Sea Lakeside Needlecraft Stitch Along with Doreen Jones. So I will be starting that tomorrow, and I am doing it on 32 even weave in Under the Sea from Fabric Flair. And I think it goes this way because that's the top. It's cool mottled fabric. It's the limited edition, special edition just for this stitch along. And I will be substituting out for Joddery. Just haven't done it yet. And then once I get started on it, it will also become a monthly mystery stitch along piece. So I may work on it more than one day this week. And my minder is this really cool starfish needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. Then the next piece that I will be working on is going to be Be Merry by Mill Hill. Just a cute little Mill Hill kit. And of course, it's on perforated paper, and it will be made into an ornament. Then the next one that I will be... Oh, it goes in here. The next one that I will be starting is my Captain Santa by Mill Hill. And I will be using my hooked needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More, because he's a captain. Then my next start will be my first start for the Gingerbread Village series by Country Cottage Needleworks. It's going to be Gingerbread House #1. So I'll start on that one. And I'm going to do this whole series on one piece of fabric. It's 32 Jobelin and Toasted Almond from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. So familiar, Toasted Almond. And my minder's this cute little tree button needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. I'll start a different piece on it each month. As long as the needle minders don't keep getting caught. Then the next one that I have is going to be my Christmas Island Santa by Mill Hill. And he's really cute. I've got my little M&M needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. Then the next one comes from Just Cross Stitch 2013 ornament issue. And it is Ethereal Illumination #2 by Summer House Stitchworks. This one right here. And I will be stitching this on just plain 28 count white even weave. And I have a little sparkly crystal needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. And then my last start before I see you next will be my Genoa Santa by Mill Hill. So yay, another Santa. And there's my little black jewel needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So that brings us to the whips for the week. I did not get through all of my whips that I wanted to before the end of 2016. That's okay. So I'm going to show you guys what held over and the few that I had to add to it because I didn't have enough between now and next Monday. So first one's electronic pattern. It is the Woodland Sampler by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I am doing this on 32 Lugana in Heritage from Picture This Plus. And the borders are being done in DMC 4516, which is from the Coloris line. Like I said, always makes me think of Chorus line. And then my minder, which just fell off, is the little National Park Frosted Pumpkin Needle Minder. Because with all those animals, you'll likely find them in the park. Then the next one is World's Postage Stamp by Soda Stitch, because I didn't have enough travel pieces last year. And I am doing this one on 32 Joblin in Meadow from Hand Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. And here is where I was last time I worked on it. So B, Sydney is what I'm still working on. And then my little passport needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. Then the next one is the series from Cross Stitch and Needlework Magazine, The Year of Celebrations. Now that we're in January, I will definitely be working on the January block. And I am doing this all on one piece of 32 Belfast in Autumn from Under the Sea Fabrics. And here is where, so there's January, hanging thread from behind. So there's January, raw work, and here's the whole piece as it stands so far. And my minder is my little colorful tile needle minder from Minding My Minders. Excuse me. Itchy nose. Then the next one is Yesterday from Cross Stitch and Needlework July 2013. So yesterday's right up here, the green. And I am just doing this on 14 count perforated plastic. So here's where we were last time I worked on it. And my minder's a little cat in a hat needle minder I got from Minding My Minders. Then the next one is an electronic pattern. It is Yoda from Natali Needlework. And I am doing this one on 32 count white Joblin. And here is where we were last time we worked on them. I'll put a link to the pattern below. My Yoda needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. And then the last of my whips in my alphabetical rotation is this next one. It's an electronic pattern. And it is Zelda by Pixel Power. I'll put a link to it below. I am stitching this on a 28 Joblin solo die from Silk Weavers. I was working on Link last time I worked on it, and have his sword from Nifty Needle Nannies as my needle minder. That brings us back to the top of the alphabet. And I do numbers first before the rest of the letters, because I have two patterns that start with numbers for their titles. So the first one is the 1862 Snowflake, which is the piece that I am working on as the ornament for the Christmas all year round stitch along. So there'll be another day that I can work on that. And then the last one that I have is my 1920s Flapper by Joan Elliott. Is she pretty? And I am doing this one on 32 Joblin in Siren Noir from from Under the Sea Fabrics, excuse me. And here's where we are at this point. And I have a little blingy jewel needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. Then, like I said, starting next week, I will be, and that's it for my whips. Starting next week, I will be showing the one stitch a day challenge piece every day, or every week, so you see the progress. So those are my plans for the upcoming week. A lot of stitching, but it's okay. It's fun. I don't have any stash acquisitions this week. Are we shocked? No, it was just the last week of the month, or last week of the year, and I have a whole lot of other stuff to do. I do have, however, I don't think I showed this one last time, and if I did, I apologize. But it is the year 2000 Just Cross Stitch ornament issue that I was going to do a quick flip through of. I'm continuing that little series. So here we go. start off here. I need to try Hardanger sometime. It intimidates me, I admit it. Cutting the fabric. And here's the next one. There are a couple on this page that I really like. Aren't they pretty? And then the next one. I'm sorry for the glare. Pretty cardinal ones. And then here we go here. There's a Teresa Winsler Celtic Cross right there in the middle. That's really pretty. And probably on my to-do list, if not for this month, but then here's a page of Santas. Lots and lots of Santas. I like the golfing Santa up there. That's cute. And then the next one. I like the white poinsettia. Poinsettia, however you want to say it. Mistletoe. And here's this section. More of the more lighthearted ones. I like the night. Oh, holy night. Then here's some snowmen. Do you want to build a snowman? Sorry. I blame that on the homework project we have to do before the kids go back to school on Tuesday. For my son, he has to decorate a snowman. And not color him, but decorate him. And here is the next section. Some pretty ones there. Still got more. There you go. I like this one over here with the cat with the antlers on it. I think that's funny. One more section. These are a lot of snowflake type ornaments. So pretty. And then that is it as far as the ornaments go. So definitely some pretty ones in here if you are interested. Okay, so plans for this upcoming week besides stitching my heart out. I owe you guys still the close-up me behind the camera video of my Whovianized pumpkin passport. The kids go back to school on Tuesday. I will probably do it after they go back to school. Not necessarily on Tuesday, but sometime between Tuesday and before next week. I did this video today because it's the 1st, but my next video won't be until a week from tomorrow. So on Mondays, I'll go back to my normal Monday schedule, but I wanted to be here to do a video for the 1st because it's the 1st. And of course I'll start kitting up February and that'll eventually come. Other than that, I hope everyone has a wonderful, happy new year and a great year stitching. I hope 2017 is way better than 2016, no matter how good or bad your 2016 might have been. I hope 2017 is even better. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!